Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Scott, your novice racer. Today I want to talk about a few tips that'll help you become a better RC racer. This weekend will be my 2-year anniversary of racing. So I am very much a beginner at racing myself, and within that 2 years I haven't always had a local track. So I don't have a lot of experience, and I'm not trying to say that I'm an intermediate racer or a pro racer. I am a beginner racer myself, but I want to talk about some of the things I've learned along the way. Always having a good set of tools is very nice. Those Allen wrenches that come in the kits, they're not very useful. I mean, they will help, but get yourself some decent tools. And when you're done racing, whether it's that night or during the following week, try to go through your car and clean it up. Basically what you really want to do is you want to inspect it. You want to make sure you don't have things coming loose, you don't have worn, damaged parts. It's just a good way to make sure everything's snugged up and in place. So maintaining your car is very critical, because you can't win a race if you can't finish a race. Now when you go to a professional race, the professional racers will be there before you even have your first cup of coffee. And when you're going home to get something to eat or the hotel room, they're still going to be there working on their cars. As a novice racer like me, we just try to make it through the race. And as far as what diffs or diff fluid or suspension or gearing, I'm not going to go into any of that stuff. I'm going to talk about real basic stuff about how to become a better RC racer. The biggest tip I can give you would probably be, do not crash during the first lap. It doesn't matter what place you're in, whether you're first or third or fifth. If you crash during that first lap, you're going to be last, because no turn marshal is going to walk out into traffic to turn your car. So I would say take it easy during the first lap, try to get through it and work your way through the pack. Being calm and relaxed is one of the most important things you can do while you're racing. If you make a mistake and you crash, do not try to make up for that time right there and then, because you're going to end up crashing again. You're going to be overdriving, you're going to be pushing too hard. In fact, one of the things I've been doing lately is try to just get around the track as smoothly as possible. If there's a jump that you can double or triple, you know it, you do it all the time. But if you're coming up a little sideways or a little crooked, or you just don't feel comfortable with it, you're going to save yourself a lot of time rolling that jump than waiting for a turn marshal. Turn marshal time, what? Average 10 seconds. You lose 10 seconds a lap, more than once a lap, you're not going forward, you're going backwards. So as a guitar player or a musician, one of the things I learned is when you're trying to learn a part, you slow the tempo of the song down and you work your way up till you can play it to speed. Now I don't know why RC racing would be any different. If you can go around that track, take your time, get around there smoothly, the less times you need to be turn marshaled, the faster your lap times are going to be. I guess one thing I could tell you about learning to drive better is not to drive at 110%. Maybe you just need to turn it down to about 80% and try to put in as many clean laps as you can. I know I've made a few mistakes where I was behind and I told myself, well, I'm out here by myself, I might as well just try to put in a few clean laps, and less turn marshals the better, and before you know it, I've caught up to the pack. And while those guys are out there battling for positions, I'm there by myself running clean laps, and I end up catching the pack. Another thing is, on the start of a race, everybody takes off and they're all battling for that first turn. When I was racing four-wheel drive short course trucks, we had a straight with a double and then into a turn. And one of the things I learned, because it was a new track and no one had quite figured out that double yet, was just to roll that jump. Everybody would go up, collide in the air, or land badly, and then as they would slide out of the turn, I just rolled, went down inside, and whether I started last or wherever, I would come out of that first turn in third, sometimes even first place, just because I rolled it and I took it easy. You hear a lot of people say, slow is fast. And I would have to agree with that. If you would go out there and run as hard as you can, and you're over here look like you're trying to set a hook with your controller, you're probably overdriving. And if you just tone it down a little bit, take your time, take it easy, you're slowly getting more comfortable with your car and the track, and your lap times are going to come up. I guarantee you, if you go out there and they're doing the practice times when you can go out and practice, go run that track as hard as you can, listen to what your lap times are, and then drive calm and slow. I guarantee you your lap times will be faster. I remember an interview with Travis Pastrana. They asked him why he does the stuff he does, and one of his answers was risk versus reward. And a lot of that can be applied while racing as well, because you know that you can clear certain jumps or certain obstacles on a track. There's no reason to have to do it every single time, because if you come out of a turn squirrely right before a jump, it might be better to roll that jump, lose a second or a half a second or maybe even 2 seconds, versus flipping off the track, breaking something, or just even having to wait for a turn marshal, because that's probably on the average another 10 seconds again. So just try to drive calmly and smoothly, and I think you can get a lot better lap times. Of course, we all want to win, but not everybody can win all the time. In fact, in the 2 years I've been racing, I've won a couple of short course truck races, and in buggy I've only won a couple of B mains. So you know, I'm still a very beginner novice racer myself, and these are just some of the things that have helped me. You know, keep a clear mind when you're on the track. You know, concentrate on what you're doing. I've even had it where I know I've got a slower driver around me and I'm trying to use my peripheral vision to see it, and it'll distract me knowing I'm coming up on somebody that I have to be careful with and get around. And as far as getting around, if you're new on the racetrack and people are coming around you, lapping you, move out of the way. I mean, move to the outside of the turn, because most likely the faster guy's going to take the inside lines, and give them space. I've seen it where people are getting lapped and people are racing for position, and the guy that's a lap down is taking out drivers. I mean, there's no reason for you to do that. Just, you know, try to move out of the way and let them have the main racing line. I'm sure you're going to know who the fast guys are, and I'm sure the fast guys are going to know who the slower guys are. So just be respectful when you're out on the racetrack. So one more tip here. If you're getting in a passing position or getting ready to be passed, I was talking about driving that comfortable pace for you, continue to do that. I mean, I know you want to pass a guy or you don't want to get passed, but your adrenaline's going to go up and you're going to want to drive harder. There may be that chance for you to do that jump that you don't normally do, the risk versus reward. This may be a good time to do it. But also remember that guy that you're getting ready to pass, or you don't want him to pass you, his adrenaline's pumping too, and he's going to be overdriving. So stick to your comfortable pace. Do what you're comfortable with and let him make the mistake. So in conclusion, remember, the most important thing is don't crash on the first lap. Drive at a comfortable pace for yourself, because you'll always get faster. When you do crash, try to hit the reset button. Don't let that crash bother you. Don't let the turn marshal not being as quick as you like bother you. Just get back on the track and get back on a nice comfortable pace, and try to have a good time while you're there. So if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.